Let's move on to the team that finished number 3 in 2019, which is Delhi Capitals. DCO, DCO, DC. What have they been up to? Tasted success after so long. What was it? Qualified after 7 years or something?
Something like that.
Something like that?
After 2012, yeah.
They took the devil out of the name and qualified straight away.
There you go. The devil is the problem.
Correct.
I'm telling you.
The
Devil is the problem. Two major trades. They got Ravichandra Ashwin and Ajinkya Rahane. I have to be honest. I didn't get when they picked up Ajinkya Rahane because they already had a solid top Indian 4.
Correct.
Right? They had Shaw, Dhawan, Shreyas and Pant. So where Aju fits in there, I wasn't understanding.
Yeah, my gut feel is that they were unsure of Prithvi Shaw at that time.
Okay,
So
fair.
they wanted somebody, they didn't know where Prithvi Shaw's downward spiral was going to end up.
Okay.
Luckily, he's come back, he scored a lot of runs and he's going to be a big factor for Delhi Capitals. So I think, I won't be surprised they play Rahane at 3 and then say Shreyas and Rishabh Pant. So we got a top 5 of Indians.
Let Pant be a finisher, purely.
I think, from what I've seen now of Rishabh Pant over the last 3 months, I think the best role for Rishabh Pant is just before he goes out to bat, someone sprays something between his ears and cleans his head completely.
Say, no pressure, bro, no pressure.
No pressure, Pant. Just say, जाके तू मौज करके आ जा. ये नहीं सोचो कि मेरे को यहाँ से सिंगल ढूंढना है. ये मत सोचो कि 2 मैच के बाद मैं रहूंगा कि नहीं. Just clean his mind, use him as a finisher from number 5.
Yeah.
Now, once they do that, they've got Akshar Patel at 6, Ashwin at 7. They've got 7 Indians there already, plus Ishant. Harshal Patel has had a fantastic Syed Mushtaq Ali, that score of 9 Indians. They can go shopping for overseas players.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And
You're absolutely right.
I've been...
Look, they only have 3 overseas right now, which is... So they kept Kemo Paul. They had 2 West Indians, Rutherford and him. Rutherford, they've traded to Mumbai.
Yes.
They kept Kemo Paul. They've got Rabada, of course, who's your first 11. Sandeep Lamechhane, who... I don't know. They had a spinner ki dukaan last time.
But I'll tell you one thing. This is a very unfettered team. Okay. Again, you're talking about a management who's very clear. They would have told Ponting, you're the man. These are your decisions. The first thing Ponting would have told them is that no international batsman will play well on this track, and this track is not going to change. No matter what you do to the Firozshah Kotla, it'll be a low, slow, shitty track to bat on. Let's be honest. Okay. So no point spending big money on international batsmen out here. Everyone I spend on a Maxwell, he's going to struggle on this. They might go for a Maxwell, but as a finisher, that too, I am made out. So what do? You pack it with Indians. Because even today, you don't even have the Sri Lankans of the kind of Jayawardene, the kind of wrist work that can play on tracks like this. Because the Australians and all are struggling. I mean, Firozshah Kotla is just a nightmare for any batsman to bat. So pack it with Indians. Get some really good quality fast bowlers, spinners at the board. This thing, get international players, maybe one international player backup up front. But they're also, as you said, a pretty complete team except for a couple of foreigners.
My gut feel is, and Ponting when he was at Mumbai Indians took a tough call. Ponting will take big calls if required. He took a tough call, he dropped himself. He dropped himself, put on the bib and went around distributing Gatorade to the reserves. And apparently some of the guys playing did a double take. They said, oh, no, मुझे नहीं चाहिए. Ponting, no, मुझे नहीं चाहिए.
Papa drink पिला रहे. Papa drink पिला रहे. मैं नहीं लूँगा.
But I won't be surprised if he takes a tough call, tells the 2 seniors, Shikhar Dhawan, Ajinkya Rahane, one of you 2 is playing. And I'll pick a Maxwell kind of person. Play Shreyas 3, someone else 4, Rishabh 5. So I won't be surprised if he tells these 2, one of you 2 is playing, guys.
He's a believer in Maxwell. He likes Maxwell. He's a believer in Maxwell's talent. Maxwell, of course, has the talent.
But Maxwell plays well in Dubai.
Let's have a look at his numbers.
But you never know.
We have his numbers there. 2014, of course, the magic year of his, the magic season that he had, 552 runs there. The average, the strike rate, all up. What is that thing, sir? What do we call it? The Basra? Batting, average, strike rate,
the Baji.
Aggregate. There you go. So
the Baji, no?
That's right, Almost 220, right? 220, around 220, 225, that's magical.
That was 2014.
2014. After that, of course, has been the problem where it crashed down to, 170. And that, of course, has been an issue of 47 innings, just 800 runs. But I don't know why we are speculating so much on what DC will do, because Ponting has already told us. Ponting has already put out a tweet. He's already told us what they'll be shopping for. So he said we need a solid all-rounder, which is a number 6. So I feel like Jimmy Neesham is one guy they'll be
You like his tweets, don't
going
you?
for. I'm a big fan of Jimmy Neesham's tweet. I'm actually a big fan of
But actually he's good at 6 because he doesn't have to bowl 4 overs. When he doesn't have to bowl 4 overs, he's very dangerous with the bat. He's a good power play hitter as well. So Jimmy Neesham, they gave up Chris Morris. Maybe they've given up on Chris Morris. but I won't be surprised if a few other franchises.
I like Grandhomme.
So this is what Ponting said. Sorry, Ponting said, really excited for the IPL auction tonight. We'll look at 2 batters, potentially an all-rounder and 2 fast bowlers. We've got strong Indian players already. Our main goal is to get the best players available. So there you go. He said it. 2 batters, all-rounder, 2 fast bowlers.
And almost all international.
Yeah.
He doesn't need his
need any more
domestic
Indian
core is
players.
so strong.
So is he going for Pat Cummins then?
I'm telling you, he could go jump in and go for a Pat Cummins and say, if I get it, I get it. It's a throw of the dice. Pat Cummins and Glenn Maxwell are going to be the guys everyone's going to go after.
Okay, let's see how much money do they have available. Let's have a look. They have almost 28 crores that are available. So they've got big money to play with. As we said, a lot of their core is already there. They've also pretty much got their 11 stitched up.
Yeah.
Who are the big foreign fast bowlers they could go for? This Pat Cummins is one. Who else is there?
See, you could...
Dale Steyn is there.
You got Steyn.
Experienced Dale Steyn, who's staying pace off.
Which one would you rather have?
I will tell you, watch out for Sheldon Cottrell.
Yeah.
The other day, as Joy tweeted, Rishabh Pant probably took a couple of crores off his price
He
tag.
took a crore off him, right?
But if he can look after his knees, Sheldon Cottrell and his knees, if he can look after them, if he can get up to 135, 138, he swings the ball, he takes the pace off, and does a great celebration.
And not only that.
That's important. For Delhi, it is. You got to be flashy, huh? You live in Delhi, you got to be flashy, bro.
Having a left-hander will never hurt.
Yeah.
Always good to have another variation in the attack. Having a left-hander coming in, just different angle.
Yeah.
If you had a choice between Pat Cummins and Dale Steyn to bowl at Kotla, who would you pick?
No, I'll pick Cummins. You've always picked the younger guy.
Yeah.
The younger guy, also Pat Cummins.
Would you not pick the wilier guy, though?
He's a legitimate all-rounder as well. He's a legitimate all-rounder. Today, Pat Cummins can bat, maybe 6 is high, but he's a darn good number 7 now. He can bat at 7.
3 teams, 16 games, 17 wickets. Don't look at the economy. I mean, they are playing.
Depends on the economy. You always have to look at, depending on which overs you bowl.
Yeah, true.
Also, when you've played, if you look at it, you've played 3 seasons, you've played just 16 matches. That means you're not played a stretch at all. I know KKR, he barely played.
Yeah.
Because, he was a young kid who's there. You already have all these fast bowlers, everyone said. So, similarly, he's only played regularly in his last season. So, that's the problem with him. If you judge stats, it's very difficult. These 16 are 2 matches here, 1 match here, 2 match here,
Yeah,
1 match
he
here.
is now, though, Pat Cummins 2.0, isn't he?
Exactly. He's a different bowler. He's a different guy from the guy who was this young kid learning in the camps. Those days are over.
There's one other factor, which is the Aussies will encourage all their players to play the full season this year with the World T20 coming. They've never won a World T20 ever, Australia.
Oh, yeah, they haven't.
And they export coaches like South Africa export players.
Yeah, true.
So their coaches will sit and pick a lot of the Australian players.
Exactly.
So Australian players will get good money this time.
Yeah, there's a few things.
But Sheldon Cottrell will be a good pick.
There's a few things in India also that we don't consume and we just export.